So, mas madali itong topic, the fixed point iteration method. Okay? The fixed point iteration method. So, for the fixed point iteration method, it is a non-bracket method or open method. So, tapos na tayo sa bracketing method, which we have the bisection and the regular falsi. No? So, we have now the non-bracket method. The first one is the fixed point iteration method, also called open method, that transforms the equation of the form f of x equals 0 to the form x equals g of x. So it is also called one-point iteration method or successive substitution method. So here are the steps, no? So choose any real number value of x equals x sub 0 as a guess for the root, such that its function value f of x sub o does exist for the equation of the form f of x equals 0. Step 2, transform f of x equals 0 to the form x equals g of x. So later we'll have an example to that. Step 3, okay, let x sub I plus 1 equals g of xi. Step 4, solve for the value of x sub I plus 1 in step 3, and this value becomes the value of x sub I in the next iteration. Step 5, return to step 3 to substitute x sub I value from step 4 if x sub I from step 3 is not yet equal to x sub I plus 1 from step 4 to the desired significant figures or decimal places. Else, terminate the computation. Note, there are cases that the root is not obtained upon performing several iterations. Thus, you can express f of x equals 0 to the form x equals g of x with a different version and proceed again to step 1. So to better understand the steps, let's answer an example. So here's the problem. So same problem. Find the root of the equation ln x minus cosine x equals 0, correct to 3 decimal places. Solution. So you let f of x equals ln x minus cosine x. And then, since f of x equals 0, okay? So ano ba yung step 1? Tignan natin. Step 1. Choose any real number, value of x equals x sub 0 as a guess. Manghuhula tayo. Such that its function value f of x sub 0 does exist. Dapat nag-exist, hindi dapat imaginary number, hindi siya undefined, hindi siya infinity. Dapat gano'n, no? Dapat certain, specific, no? Definite number. So of the form f of x equals 0, does exist for the equation of the form f of x equals 0. O pag nasatisfy yon, transform f of x equals 0 to the form x equals g of x. So f of x equals 0. Okay? So f of x equals 0, ln x minus cosine x equals 0. Gawin ngayon natin siyang x equals g of x. So, paano mo magagawang x equals g of x to? No? So, igagawin natin siyang x equals g of x. To do that, alam natin ito ay ln x minus cosine x equals 0. So, i-transpose natin, then e natin to the power of ln x equals e to the power of cosine x. Okay? Given the same base, e. So what is e to the power of ln x? That is x. No? So recall your calculus. No? So that is x, e to the power of cosine x. Okay? And then, This is now x equals g of x. Ayan. Yan na yon. Yan na yung x equals g of x. Ang g of x natin is e to the cosine x. So, g of x equals to, alam natin na g of x ay e to the cosine x. Say x sub 0 equals to 1.5. Okay? Kung 1.5, nag-exist ba? E to the cosine 1.5. Yes, nag-exist yan. Take note, naka-mode radian tayo ha. Naka-mode radian yung calculator. So, x sub I plus 1. Yan lang ang kailangan natin. X sub I plus 1. Hindi pa pala. Meron pa palang isa. Yung delta x. Yung change. No? Yung difference between ng xi plus 1 at saka x sub I. So, at I equals 0, ano yung x sub I? 1.5. Check natin. At I equals 0, x sub 0. So, that is 1.5. Diba? At I equals 0. Nag-exist ba yan? Yung ano ba to? Yung f of x natin ay nag-exist dito sa x sub 0 equals 1.5. ln 1.5 minus cosine 1.5. Does it exist? Yes, it exists. Pagka hindi infinity ang sagot, hindi undefined ang sagot, basta definite number, nag-exist. So, we can now proceed with our solution. So, 0, no? X sub 0 equals to 1.5. So, x sub 0 equals 1.5. Ayan. Tapos, kunin natin yung x sub I plus 1. So, x sub I plus 1 is, balik tayo. Paano natin nakuha yung x sub I plus 1? X sub I plus 1. So, eto. X equals e to the cosine x. Diba? So, sabihin yan, x sub I plus 1 e to the cosine x sub I. Okay? So, sabihin yan, x I plus 1 equals g of x sub I. Check natin, ha? Using calculator. Uh, 1.5 e to the cosine, mode radian, ha? Naka-mode radian dapat, no? E saan ba yung E? Ayun. To the cosine x sub I is x sub 0. X sub 0, 1.5. Para makuha yung x sub 1. Okay. 1.073. Check na natin. 1.073. Ayun. 1.0733. Ayun. Tapos, kunin natin yung difference. Okay. Ano yung difference niyan? Delta x. No? Absolute value ng difference. So, absolute value of shift, ABS, absolute value of delta x is x sub I plus 1 minus x sub I, 1.0733 minus yung difference nila, 1.5. We get 0.4267. O tapos, ito ay x sub 1. So, sabihin niyan, x sub 1.0733 yung bagong x sub 1. So, ibig sabihin niyan, kung ito na yung bagong x sub 1, so yung x sub I plus 1 isa-solve ko. Ganito ulit. E cosine 1.0733. 1.6116. Tapos yung difference ay yun, 0.5383. Tapos palitan ulit. Gawin mong, ito naman 1.61159, siya yung ilagay mo dito. 1.6116. 0.9600. Tapos siya na naman ilagay mo dito. 0.9600. Makukuha mo yung 1.7745. Yung 1.7745, siyang ilagay mo. Okay. 0.8169. Hanggang makarating ka dito sa 0.5011. Ano napansin nyo? Ha? So, delta x, 0.42, 0.3, 0.5383, 0.65, 0.81. Lumalaki. Nagda-diverge yung difference. Kasi dapat, ang delta x na yan ay mag-approach ng 0. Dapat nag-approach siya ng 0. Hindi siya nag-approach ng 0. Observation, no convergence for the value of x from I equals 0 to I equals to 10. Therefore, terminate the computation. Doon sa step yan. Check na ulit natin yung step. Okay. Ayan. Solve for the value. Okay. In step 3. And this value becomes the value of x of I in the next iteration. So, return to step 3 to substitute x of I value from step 4. If x of I from step 3 is not yet equal to x of I plus 1 from step 4 to the desired significant figures or decimal places, else terminate the computation. Note, there are cases that the root is not obtained upon performing several iterations. Thus, you can express f of x equals 0 to the form x equals g of x with a different version and proceed again to step 1. O, ibang version ng x equals g of x. Okay? Ibang version tayo. So, ibang version. Ayan. Terminate na natin, no? Hindi kasi siya nagko-converge. Okay? Nagda-diverge, no? Siya, no? So, ang next version ito. So, ito, since f of x equals 0, ln x minus cosine x equals 0. Okay, ln x equals cosine x. This time, baliktad naman. So, yung ln x equals cosine x, pwede ko rin siyang isulat na cosine x equals ln x. And then, para mawala yung cosine, lalagyan ko ng arc cosine sa kabila. Okay? So, x, diba kapag meron akong cosine theta equals 1. Theta is equals to arc cosine 1. Tama ba? So, theta is arc cosine 1. Okay? So, ganito rin dito. X equals arc cosine ln x. Okay? So, ito ngayon yung ating bagong version ng x equals g of x. So, this is now xi plus 1 arc cosine ln x sub I. So, xi plus 1 equals g of xi. Okay. So we have this. So g of x is arc cosine ln x. Say x sub 0 equals 1.5. So ulitin natin. So xi plus 1 delta x 0. O ano yan? ARC ARC shift cosine arc cosine ARC ln ln 1.5 x sub 0 yan, no? ln 1.5. Check nga natin. ARC cosine arc cosine ln 1.5. So, ang bibigay ng table ay, ng calculator ay 1.1533. Ito. Tapos kunin ng difference. Ito. Then, yung 1.1533, next iteration, ito yung first. Okay? So, para sa I equals 1, so 0. So, 1.1533 yung substitute natin. Bibigay ay 1.4277. Tapos, yung 1.4277 naman ang lalagay natin. 1.2067. And then, 1.3818. Okay? And the pattern continues. No? So, ano napapansin nyo? Nagda-diverge. Nagko-converge. Lumalapit yung agwat nung dalawa, xi tsaka xi plus 1. Paano malalaman kung lumalapit yung agwat? Solve mo yung difference nila. Okay. Nag-approach ng 0. Ito, nag-approach ng 0. Yung delta x nila. Yung delta x. Okay? So, using Excel, nag-approach siya ng 0, no? Ayan. Okay? So, stop ka na dito dahil equal na sila sa 3 decimal places. 1.302 pa dito, 1.303, hindi pa pwede. 1.303 na, 1.303, okay na dito. So, para sa I equals to 26, dun siya na-satisfy. Okay? So, nag-converge siya. Okay? So, in lab activity 19, simulate the solution of the given problem using Excel such that when the given initial value of x is altered, you'll still arrive at the correct root of x equals 1.303 upon extending the number of iterations beyond I equals to 26, applying the fixed point iteration method. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, yung x sub 0 ko, initially 1.5. Kaya kung ginawa kong 1.4, so ibig sabihin, sa Excel, pwedeng mag-go beyond I equals to 26. O kaya 1.6. No? 1.7. O kaya 2. Okay? So, maraming iterations yan. Baka mag-go beyond I equals to 26. Okay? So, ganun yung gagawin nyo. Okay? Good day, everyone.